Hey, it's Janelle Waz, and welcome back to another episode of Waz Reviews. Space, the final frontier. Deep Space Nine, the edge of the final frontier. And this is Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Crossroads of Time. Now, many of you probably know how much of a DS9 fan I am, and many of you probably know how much I love the Sega Genesis. So a DS9 Sega Genesis game? Quark, sign me up for a holosuite. I'm there. Actually, bit of a fun fact about me, I only watched the show after I played the game. Technically not the way it's supposed to be done, but you know what, I did the same thing for Next Gen as well. And yes, I even have this game complete in cardboard box with the manual. Though Crossroads of Time was released a few seasons into the show, the story takes place sometime during Season 1, specifically before the episode Battle Line, since Kai Opaka is in the game. And it really does play like a lost early episode of the show. So, what mysteries await us at the edge of the final frontier? What sort of badassery is Captain Pixel Sisko up to? And is Pixel Latinum worth the same as regular Latinum? Well, let's jump in a runabout and head for the wormhole. This is Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Crossroads of Time.
What game? I don't understand.
But before I go any further, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I talk a lot about Star Trek, video games, and whatever else I feel like talking about. Be great to have you aboard. It's a typical day on DS9. Commander Benjamin Sisko's in his office, there's political turmoil and angry Cardassians about, and Chief O'Brien needs a vacation. Bloody Cardassian equipment always breaking down. The Sisko comm badge chirps with a call from Odo to meet him in his office all the way on the other side of the station. The Sisko is on his way. And this is where you gain control of the beardless commander and freely roam around the station.
You have no right to interfere with my life!
One of the nice features of this game is the opportunity to actually walk around the station in between levels, though some levels are exceptions. It's a great opportunity to see familiar places from the show and talk to your favorite DS9 characters like Major Kira, Jadzia Dax, Jaco, Noggles.
Noggles, take it easy, it's only a movie.
Quark, Morn. How's it going, Morn? Yeah, I hear you, buddy. Garrick, the plain simple tailor. How may I serve you, Commander? Thanks, Garrick, but I don't need any clothes today. Well, when you need a new suit, remember plain simple Garrick. You know what? I may even have some time to play Dabo. Play Dabo, Commander? No thanks, I'm on duty. Among the familiar faces around the station are people like Random Angry Cardassian number 2, a Bajoran monk that I'm pretty sure was in the first episode of the show.
Please enter. The prophets await you.
Another time, perhaps.
Another time.
As well as maybe one of the Duras sisters? This game does take place in Season 1 of DS9, which overlaps with Next Gen Season 6, so maybe?
Human females are so repulsive.
Alright, that's enough chatting around the station. Let's head on over to the security office. Hey, if Odo wanted to talk to me immediately, he should have just come up to Ops. Huh, it's about time you got here, you humanoids and your schedules. It turns out that one of the technicians was attacked in Docking Pylon 3, but Odo didn't find any witnesses. Is that all, Odo? You're not gonna tell me anything else? Yeah, this game doesn't always tell you what you need to do next, so the best piece of advice I have is just to talk to everybody. Eventually, the game will move along, and there aren't so many people around to make it impossible. After a quick chat with Julian Bashir, MD, and Jadzia Dax, it turns out that the technician is fine, and there are some weird anti-proton emissions in Lower Pylon 3. I'm going to send Chief O'Brien down to check it out. Oh sure, it's not like the Chief has nothing to do right now!
Can't have the operations chief sitting around daydreaming when there's work to be done, can we? I'll get right on it.
Ben volunteers to go instead, and finds a stunned crewman and a Bellitrium grenade. Yeah, remember how Bellitrium was a thing for one episode?
Talking about a business arrangement, he's paying them for something, I don't know what.
This leads into the first official level of the game, Saboteurs, or as I like to call it,
Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
That's right, it's Ben Sisko, bomb squad of 1, going through an entire pylon for 15 minutes throwing grenades out the nearest airlock. Gee, wouldn't this be a job for, oh, I don't know, Odo and a security team? Never mind the fact that they probably have bomb squad training, but they can cover more ground than just one emissary. Now, even though I've beaten this game a couple of times, I will admit that this is tough for a first level. The game starts you off with a timed level, and if you can't eject all the bombs in time, or even get rid of a bomb within 24 seconds after picking it up, the station blows up and we have the shortest Star Trek series in existence. On top of all that, the entire thing is a maze of elevators running into walls and making giant leaps of faith. Who the hell designs a station like this?
The bloody Cardies.
Jadzia, you are going to send Miles to do this?
You look like you could use some sleep.
It was time for sleep.
Finally, got rid of all the grenades. So Odo questioned the perps and discovered they're Bajoran redemptionists, or Bajorans who reject traditional Bajoran culture, who are loyal to a man named Etok. Coincidentally, a Gul Gurgi has also arrived on the station and is waiting in Sisko's office. The Sisko is on his way. But first, what are you doing, Nog? I didn't do anything! I'm innocent! Morn! Anything new since— Commander, Gul Gurgi is waiting for you in his office. We meet Gurgi and he's none too pleased. You allowed Bajoran criminals an opportunity to threaten my ship! I'll take that as a thank you for saving your ship, Gurgi. So Gurgi's going back to his ship to have a hissy fit in probably an unauthorized transport, all while Odo's prisoners decide to go for broke and steal a ship and make a break for the wormhole. So naturally, Kira has to go after it. In a runabout. And we all know what happens to runabouts on this show.
You know, the rate we go through runabouts is a good thing the Earth has so many rivers.
For the first timer, this level is frustrating. First, there's piloting the runabout with perfect concentration through the wormhole where you have to avoid weird blue strings that hurt you. Hey, I've gone through the show how many times and even I don't know what they are. And if you're lucky, you'll come out of the wormhole with half your health to chase down the fleeing ship through an asteroid field.
You're not actually going into an asteroid field.
They'd be crazy to follow us, wouldn't they?
And you're better off just firing at everything and hoping for the best. Hope you hit the asteroids before they hit you, and then you hit the runaway ship enough times to disable it. It's not exactly the way they teach it at the academy, but Kira didn't go to the academy.
Well, I'm not in Starfleet.
Now don't you guys take off again. Commander, the Redemptionists on Bajor have kidnapped Kai Opaka! Oh, son of a! Look, I know you guys are mad at something, but do you know what will happen if there's no more Opaka?
Hello, child.
Yeah, do you want that? Well, better go and rescue her. Opaka's worth it, though.
I'm afraid the prophets won't forgive me. They're just waiting for you to forgive yourself.
Oh, an ambush! Who could have seen that coming? Also, no one's here to ambush me? What the hell kind of ambush is this?
I'd speak with the manager, please.
The next 4 levels take place on Bajor, so naturally, there are no DS9 segments in between those levels. They just kind of lead into each other. I think now's a good time to bring up one of the more annoying parts of this game. This game is based on a password system, which isn't unusual for the time. And while there are unlimited lives, if you die at any point in between password screens, you'll restart from the point of the last password screen. So, what's the problem? The problem is that a lot of these password screens happen before the run around DS9, and this usually requires you to complete the DS9 segment before the regular level starts up again. So yes, this level itself may be on Bajor, but if you happen to die during it, it's back to DS9 right after Kira gets back with the prisoners in the runabout. And if you die multiple times, yeah, it's extremely annoying since I just want to get back to the main level and try again. I don't want to waste my time with busy work on the station, I just want to get back to the mission at hand. But okay, let's get back to the game. First, we're on Bajor's surface, full of beams, deadly plants that shoot deadly flying seeds, and no Redemptionist ambushers. Almost sounds to me that this is a job for a plain simple gardener.
You were a gardener on Romulus?
My specialty was Edosian orchids. Beautiful but highly toxic.
But alas, no. It's Sisko versus flying deadly seeds and very, very deep water that he can't swim in, with his only companions a phaser and upper body strength. Oh, here's a building. Maybe Opaka's in there. Oh, this level. Don't even get me started on this level. Sure, there's almost no chance of dying here, unless you want to get slowly eaten by bats. But this level is about as frustrating as Puzzles in Myst, only far less satisfying. There are multiple doors in each room, and you have to figure out how to open the doors by poking the eyes of these weird wall faces. And then you get to go into another room with doors to maybe get access to another room with doors. See, there really isn't a set logic to this level. It's just a whole bunch of trial and error where you hopefully stumble your way to the final door and open it. And by the end, you're just frustrated at how stupid the whole thing was. Opaka, you're here! Now, let's get the hell out of here.
Let's get the hell out of here.
There's strong interference in your area. Of course there is! Okay. Opaka, stay here. Don't get kidnapped. Now, if you thought the doors were bad enough, they got nothing on this next level. Oh, the level starts out typically enough. Make your way through the catacombs, grab keys just lying around, unlock doors, and eventually you'll find the generator. And the reason why I hate this level so much. After you destroy the generator, you have to climb back to the top before the resulting green fire consumes you. But that's not even the issue. It's the auto-scrolling. The game won't let you go faster than you're supposed to. Not to mention, you practically have to memorize the path to the top and still make giant leaps of faith. You will die a lot. Son of a... And when you die, you have to repeat the entire level from the start. Hey kids, want to run around a cave and slowly lose your sanity? Yeah! Well, check out Star Trek Deep Space Nine Crossroads of Time. Play as Ben Sisko as you steal food from radical Bajorans, steal their house keys, climb up a cliff with fire right behind you, and fall to your death. You'll be wishing for the sweet embrace of morn after a few too many drinks at Quark's. Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Crossroads of Time. By some miracle, you will make it. I did it! Oh my god! I did it! Oh yeah, and the next level is basically the same thing, only there's a giant replicator to destroy. And it's a heck of a lot easier. Dax, get us out of here! Well, now that we've gone through all that, this is where the game switches things up a little bit, but not for too long. You do get a chance to play as other DS9 characters in this game. However, it's a feature that's very much underused. This next level, and yes, it is indeed a level, lets you play as Julian Bashir, MD. Hi, Julian. Hello, Jadzia. Are you busy later? Sorry, I am. I'm studying some replicator fragments from Bajor.
Rejected!
I hope you all like Fetch Quest because Julian needs his DNA samples. A Bajoran monk on the station was attacked and Julian is helping the investigation by running around the station. There is some funny dialogue in this part. Personally, I get a kick out of the Garrick-Julian conversations. Hello, Garrick. How are you? Fine. Fine. Business is good. We must get together sometime and have some Tarkalian tea. But yeah, there really isn't much point to this level. It's basically just to prove that Etok, the leader of the Redemptionists, is actually a surgically altered Cardassian. Where have I seen that before? Meanwhile, Gurgi's ship has taken up attack position, and communications to Bajor have been cut off. The station is in turmoil, or as I like to call it, Tuesday. What's going on, Commander? Trouble. Big trouble. Oh. Last orders, please! So what, I say what, does the Sisko do now? Well, the game is called Crossroads of Time, so clearly we need to look to the past. Specifically, the most traumatic experience of Sisko's life. Wolf 359. It's the will of the prophets!
It is quite simply, Commander, the journey you have always been destined to take.
Using one of the Bajoran orbs, Sisko goes back to his old ship, the Saratoga, at the worst possible time. Not a week before Wolf 359, where he, his wife Jennifer, and Jake are probably planning their next vacation. Nope, the battle where the ship gets destroyed and Jennifer dies.
What is the point of bringing me back again to this?
Yes, we exist here now.
I exist here.
Now, you would think this would be a great opportunity for Ben to attempt to rescue Jennifer, maybe getting there a little too late, unable to change history or fate, right? Nope, Jennifer isn't even mentioned. He even saved some random officers, but no mention of his wife, whose death sent him deep into grief and is the reason why he vehemently held a grudge against Picard for years. Nope. Gotta get that info off the computer. He does take a couple of minutes to save his son Jake, and that's pretty cool. I mean, Jake is in the show, he obviously needs to get saved. While this level is challenging, timed, and involves moving around fire and blocked hallways, it's an appropriately difficult level at this point in the game. Yes, even when you can only fire once at the Borg with each phaser. Yeah, they left that little detail from Next Gen in. And even when you have to repair the transporter with fire shooting at you. Challenging, but definitely not as bad as, well, son of a... With Sisko back in the present, with the proper information off the Saratoga's computer, we finally reach the final level. Gulgurgi's ship. The plan is to beam Odo over there, find the command deck for Sisko to beam over, and disable the ship. That's right, we're playing as the gelatinous man himself, Odo.
Odo. It rolls off the tongue.
Now on the surface, Odo may look like a lousy character to play as. He can't jump, he can't run, heck, he's not even armed. But he's a shapeshifter. Odo, you dirty, dirty rat, you're a genius! Let's go, rat boy.
Rat boy, I resent that.
You make your way through the Cardassian ship either by going through doors as full-sized Odo or going through vents as pint-sized rat Odo. And, of course, it takes a little trial and error finding where you're supposed to go. But once you find the command deck, Sisko beams over and you finish out the game as Ben while Odo causes distractions on the ship. And this is where the level gets frustrating. There is no way to replenish your health, you have Cardassians gunning for you, turrets gunning for you, and then weird Jedi orbs and more turrets. And you have all this going on while you're trying to hack into the computer system to open doors. You can't win, Commander! I've armed the self-destruct! Coward.
The Cardassians have no honor.
Even Dukat couldn't get away with that.
Your attempt to escape is no doubt a final act of cowardice. All fail-safes have been eliminated. Your personal access codes.
And sadly, I had to break down and look up a walkthrough on this part, because you have to unlock the computer and then disarm the self-destruct while avoiding turret fire. Again, who the hell designed this thing?
The bloody Cardies.
Sisko to Dax, energize. 3 Cardassian ships arrive to blow up Gurgi's ship, and oh look, Gul Dukat. Care to explain any of this? I assure you that Gul Gurgi was acting on his own initiative. Until your transmission, we had no idea what he was planning. You expect me to believe that? What you believe is unimportant. as is what you cannot prove. Ducat will be watching you.
We'll be watching.
So Ducat is smug, DS9 is saved, and the show can go on for another 7 seasons. Sisko wants to relax, but he knows better. After all, this is Deep Space Nine. And that was Star Trek Deep Space Nine: Crossroads of Time. So, is this a worthy DS9 game? Is it a good Star Trek game? And is it a good game in general?
Sometimes the only thing more dangerous than a question is an answer.
And to all that I say, the game is decent. It doesn't do anything groundbreaking for a game. It's not like a GoldenEye that made an impact outside of its franchise. But it's not bad. It's just pretty standard. It's what you think a Star Trek platformer would look like. I can't see non-Trekkies giving this game a second look, but if you like Star Trek, or better yet, are a big DS9 fan, then yes, this game is a fun time, maybe even enough to come back to it. It's great to walk around the station, talk to your favorite characters, and experience a story that comes across as a lost season 1 episode. While I'd still say that the next-gen Genesis game, Echoes from the Past, is the better game, with a nice combination of exploration and ground missions, DS9 was a show that focused on the station, Bajor, and the conflict with the Bajorans and Cardassians, at least in the first season. And this game faithfully does that with a platformer. Could it have looked a little bit nicer, even have better cast portraits instead of a handful of pixels? Sure. Could it have been a little more forgiving of a game? Oh, hell yes. But it does deliver the DS9 experience and feels in line with the show, so I'm satisfied. I have my complaints, but nevertheless, I'm glad I have this game in my collection. Latinum well spent. So what do you think? Have you played DS9 Crossroads of Time? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What are some of your favorite and least favorite moments of the game? And what are some of your favorite Star Trek games? Please, leave comments below and discuss. As always, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Waz Reviews. If you like what you see, why not give my video a like and subscribe to my channel? Tell all your friends! Until next time...
I understand history.
Ooh, you mean I get a free action figure of Commander Sisko? Oh.